Everyone, and welcome to the Golden Egg. And this time we'll be talking about a webtoon-based K-drama, Uncanny Counter or 경이로운 소문. Is it good? Is it bad? Well, let's find out. Now, this cast is an interesting one. We're gonna start off with Jo Byung-gyu, the lead. He plays Somun, a crippled high school student with a tragic past. Now, Jo Byung-gyu is one of the hottest rising stars in the industry right now, and he has a bunch of fantastic works under his belt. Most notably recently, Arthdal Chronicles, Stove League, and the most famous one, Sky Castle. Now, he is definitely a gem in this piece and someone that you will never want to take your eyes off if you're watching this K-drama. The next actor I want to talk about is an experienced one. Yoo Jun-sang. He plays Gamotak, an ex-police officer who now acts as the assistant chef of Unni's noodle shop. He is also the tank as a member of the counters. Now, the role in the counters I will explain a bit more as I talk about the plot. But firstly, I want to talk about his actual other projects. Now, as I said, he's a very experienced actor, but most of you will probably have met him more on his more recent projects, which include Falsify and Pied Piper. The next actress I want to talk about is actually more famous for her K-pop work than she is for her acting, and that's Kim Se-jung. She plays Do-hana, the sole survivor of a family poisoning. Now, her role in terms of the counters is a censor, and she actually currently works as a server at Unni's noodle shop. Her past work, most of you will know her from IOI and Gugudan fame, but this is actually her third major role in a K-drama. Her first two coming from School 2017 and Let Me Hear Your Song. The actress is another experienced one in Yeomeran, who plays Chumyeok, a grieving mother who is the head chef at Unni's noodle shop. And she represents a healer as a member of the counters. Now, her recent works have been absolutely a hit, with one of her starring roles coming in Mystic Pop-Up Bar or Sangapocha, and another one coming in Lawless Lawyer or 무법 변호사. The supporting cast is fantastic too, including the likes of Choi Eun-young, Choi Kwang-il, Moon Suk, and Yoon Ju-sang. The acting was fantastic, and especially it was a step up for Se-jung in her third work. She was fantastic in this drama. The other main cast was also absolutely stunning, but the true gem was Lee Hong-nae, who plays Ji Chung-shin, one of the main villains and one of the baddest villains you'll see in a lot of K-dramas of recent time. Another fantastic actress was Lee Ji-won, who plays Im Ju-yeon, one of Somun's friends, and she is the embodiment of a high school student, and her acting was absolutely impeccable, and I think she is one of the breakout stars that no one is talking about. The premise of this drama is based off of the webtoon, which is very interesting overall. Now, this story follows these four counters, one of which is now Somun, the newest counter. His role is more of a DPS. He is the strongest of the four. He can do the most. And as I said, this is where the other roles come in: the tank, the sensor, the healer, and the damage per second. And as you can see, it's very much like a video game, and these counters are going up fighting ghosts. Now, these evil ghosts have now been possessing human bodies, and they get stronger and stronger by murdering people, and they're going here exorcising them and actually bringing them to justice, and that is the role of a counter, and that's what the entire plot line ends up following, eventually uncovering Somun's tragic past and the tragic past of all the other members of this counter team. The writing of this drama takes a very different turn from the premise, which was very interesting. The reason why I say this is because the writing starts having rampant issues as you go through the middle section of this drama, and it doesn't stop, actually. And it actually ends up coming to a boil when we get towards the end area, episode 12-ish, and that's because the writer actually left the drama due to creative differences with the director, and they actually ended up having to bring a new writer in. Now, does this new writer fix the drama? The answer is no. The ending is absolutely horrendous, and it is probably one of the worst endings I've ever seen in a K-drama. It's filled with PPL, which I'll talk about later, and overall, this back end of this drama was an absolute mess. It's absolutely one of the weakest parts of this drama, and one that is definitely holding it back in every possible way. The next topic I want to talk about is product placement. The last episode of this entire series was one large ad. Some of the most egregious product placement I have ever seen. For instance, one of the examples, and this doesn't actually come in the last episode of the drama, is when the entire main cast is gifted a car It's a Cadillac Escalade as their main vehicle of choice. Now, this car is probably one of the largest cars driving around, and the cast is supposed to be sneaky and inconspicuous, and you end up having a car that is more flashy than everything else around it. In a country like South Korea, when you're driving around a giant SUV, it's pretty noticeable. So this car didn't really make sense in terms of the context of the drama, but you also have many other cases like this where objects are given to the main cast with absolutely no explanation other than it's one large product placement, and therefore this is probably one of the most egregious dramas with product placement I have ever seen, and I'm giving it a 1 out of 5 in this specific category. The OST for this drama isn't fantastic. It also isn't bad. There's only 3 songs. One of them is sang by Sejong, and it's all pretty good. And therefore, the music in this drama actually ends up fitting fairly well with all of its themes, and it's all fairly well integrated, and you don't see anything too egregious, but at the same time, you don't see anything that is absolutely over the moon. The music is an absolute work of beauty like some of these other dramas, and the OST isn't absolutely loaded. So it's pretty good. It's not bad. It's not amazing, and it's pretty middle of the pack. I'd say I'd take a listen to this OST again. So in conclusion, if you want to watch a fun drama, I still couldn't recommend this one. I'm sorry, guys. This drama is pretty atrocious. And unless you're trying to watch it for the actors, who are all fantastic, I could not, with a sane mind, recommend this drama to you. And it is available on Netflix, but unless you ran out of K-dramas to watch on Netflix, I couldn't possibly recommend this. And on top of that, some of the other crazy issues with it is, as I said, the power scaling doesn't make sense, the decision-making of the characters seems to only suit the plot, and the evil bad guy is just really evil, and there's no qualities about him. He's just really evil. Very well acted, but there's no depth to his character. And so overall, I don't think I'd subject myself to this again, and I wouldn't recommend that on any of you. But let me know what you thought. Did you love Uncanny Counter? Did you hate it? Comment down below to let me know. And if you like my content, like and subscribe. Thanks, everyone.